Dawn of the Dead, 1978, is directed by George A. Romero and it's starring Ken Foree and David Emge as two SWAT team members who are basically trying to depart on a plane with a television executive and a traffic reporter to go to a shopping mall and try and camp out and survive an increasingly growing horde of zombies. This is a brilliant zombie film. And most famously, it's not available on any streaming services of any kind, and the physical copies of it are very scarce and very expensive on the sources where it's available. So naturally, I will try very hard to not go into spoilers with this particular film. This film is a perfect balance between being extremely funny and satirical, but also being really gory and disturbingly gruesome with a lot of these zombie scenes, especially towards the final act. Just from the opening shots alone, you get a lot of the press coverage of it and how people behind the scenes are just going crazy, and it's brilliant. They get a lot of jokes out of it, and it's extremely satirical. There's also the second act where they're trying to get through this mall and around these zombies, trying to get everything they need, gather resources, and during that window of time, they get to do a lot of satire off of consumerism and shopping. It's overall really good. I loved the comedic value to this film and how they balanced it out with the horror aspect of it. Now, I love the use of practical effects in this film. The visuals look really good here, but there's some particular distinct moments where you can see through it. Especially, there's one particular scene where a guy is sticking a screwdriver into a zombie's ear, and they don't show the whole thing, but you can clearly see that it's red paint coming out, and they're just so lazy with the use of it. It's one aspect that disappointed me, but really other than that, I love the look of this film. I also love the cinematography of this film. I think the way the camera angles were set up, like where they give you a wider view during some of the action sequences, with how they're setting up the scenes in the mall and how they're trying to get around the zombies. That was brilliant. And they also have some more fleshed out scenes of dialogue where they have some great camera angles going. This film is also extremely well paced. It doesn't waste your time at any point. It doesn't overstay its welcome. And they structure it so well as a story. There could be one moment where they're setting up a really awesome and entertaining action sequence to a moment of pure comedy and satire to a more quiet and depressing moment or even a more subtle moment, but there's not a single moment of the film that feels out of place or cliched. It's all set up so well to where it constantly keeps you engaged. I think this is in part due to the fact that George A. Romero understood as a screenplay writer that this was not the type of film that really needed backstory or character development to keep the audience interested. That he knew how to get straight to the point and craft an overall really good story. And he avoided any possible cliches, and this film was not predictable either. Just when I thought I knew where it was going, it completely subverted my expectations, which I loved. I loved the acting across the board in this film, but particularly the best performances were easily David Emge and Ken Foree, because they worked so well together. They had such great acting chemistry with the buddy cop-like duality they had together during these action sequences as they were rushing through this mall, trying to get around the zombies. And they also delivered some great moments of comedy and satire together. There's not a single moment of their performance that felt out of place. They were so brilliant in this film. Does this film hold up to Night of the Living Dead? Yes, it does. In fact, I would even argue that this is better than Night of the Living Dead, and it's easily the best American zombie film ever made. For Romero to be able to bring such a fresh and original twist to a simple concept that he already had explored before was just so impressive. Honestly, I cannot see a zombie film being done better than this. I'm giving Dawn of the Dead 1978 an A+. If this big fight over distribution rights ever gets resolved, and this film actually does become available for streaming, then I strongly encourage you to check this film out. But really other than that, I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video.